Hi guys, this is Wednesday evening, October 14, 2009 Daily Stock Report. Want to start off with OPTT. This is the bull short that was listed under the aggressive investors box on last night's report. We were looking for this to be a short. It turned out to be quite excellent. And if you're short this stock, I would suggest to cover it tomorrow. It could either open down or up. Either way, if this stock is most likely to open down a little bit and then look for a intraday point at which to buy to cover this short. If this stock happens to move up tomorrow, let's say it goes down a little bit and then comes back up, maybe close to $8, you can consider selling short again. Any stock, whether it's aggressive or intermediate or swing trades or any investment, just make sure you're not over leveraged and getting a big position, because these, especially these bull shorts, are very volatile, and if you leverage your account, you can really get hurt and erase a lot of profits that took a lot of time to build. So the key thing to all these strategies that I'm talking to you about is to have a small position relative to the size of that account that you're trading in. Not your total asset portfolio, your house, your 401k, your IRA. I'm just talking about that particular trading account that you build a position. The stock market indexes really moved up today, just really paving the way for a nice move up here. The Dow went up 1.5% today, clearly went above that higher high that was set back right in here on September 22nd that we've discussed several times. So when you get that, any type of stock or index especially, break through that line, it's kind of a resistance line, the technicians call it, you're really paving the way for an upward movement, an uptrend to continue, and that's what we're looking for. We've been building up these long positions for well over a week or two, and the original strategy was to look for this dip here. The buy on the dip strategy has been working so much, and it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. Here's the Nasdaq Composite also following through on the upside. Not quite as strong as the Dow, because the Dow has a lot more financial stocks weighted in that index. And here's the S&P 500, really strong today, up 1.75%. So really focusing on the long positions to hold and very selective shorts. The long side is the odds are going to be with you being long than it is being short. And you can see that the short ideas are a swing trade or a bull short, just a real special opportunity that we're occasionally looking at. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is the market is going to uptrend. We are going to look for continued positive earnings this next few days. We've got Goldman Sachs in the morning. JP Morgan was this morning, so I would think Goldman Sachs is going to be quite strong tomorrow. Here's that Goldman Sachs. Gapped up today and just went up, closed up 2.7%. So much for Meredith Whitney's downgrade yesterday. So we're likely to see with this Goldman Sachs something like we saw right here, and I think that this same pattern is starting. My guess it'll look something like that. So real nice uptrend. Hold on to these long positions as long as they're performing well and acting good. Apple's steadily moving up. Not really moving yet, and it will when it gets closer to their earnings. I believe their earnings is next Tuesday. Apple's earnings is this coming Monday after the market. Looking for $1.42 per share is what the earnings per share estimate is. So if you see Apple's revenue and profits higher than expectation, this thing's going up. Very likely to see next couple of days move up in anticipation of Monday's earnings, and very likely see some movement on Monday. Although I don't really play stocks based on earnings announcements, but the odds are pretty good that Apple is going to beat those earnings as they've been doing consecutively on the last several quarters, even though we've had a pretty rough year in the market. MasterCard here continues to move up really nicely, a little steep for my taste, but for the short-term traders, you just watch this for turning over and then selling, but it's very conceivable to see this move higher. Although at the moment I'm not looking for it to go above that point right there. You just have to play this day by day. If you're a trader or a long-term investor, it's conceivable to see it follow this pattern in the yellow arrow. The housing stocks are finally getting moving here in the last couple days. Here's Toll Brothers. Pulte Homes finally got going today. Re-entered, I think, yesterday on 2 banking stocks, Wells Fargo and JP Morgan. Here's JPM right here. This earnings was this morning. Let's take a look at Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has been on a real big move for this stock from $26 to $31 here in the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. So these higher highs are real strong. Hang on to these. These will be a long position for some time. Here's the strongest insurance company at the moment. Watching this one to see if we bust through that resistance level or this recent high, if you call it a resistance level. Looking for something like that. And if that happens, very likely to see a run similar to what we saw here, all the way back here for some months. So you guys know the routine. Keep the odds in your favor. Don't get leverage. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.